Hey, happy spring, happy Easter. Got lots of exciting spring activity going on at our cannabis farm here, and wanted to show you guys our seeds, what it looks like once your seeds sprout out of this situation where I showed in the last video that we put our seeds inside this little Ziploc bag with a wet paper towel. This is preferred way, especially for tropical seeds that really like warmth and such, and then also with these landrace seeds where some of them are maybe a little more delicate. I do like to pop them in, like I get the highest germination rates when I use this paper towel baggie technique. So just want to show you how exciting this is when you finally break them out. I'm going to show you, boing! There's some happy little seeds right there. So what these are is these are actually an Iranian variety. We're now popping our indica landrace, and this is in Iranian. Yes, and I'm guessing, I need to look that up, but I'm guessing that's a region or a town or village in Iran. Anyway, we're doing 7 different Iranian varieties this year, so very excited about that. But because a lot of the point of these videos is we're hoping to encourage a lot more people to be growing cannabis themselves, and we just think the world will be a better place when more and more backyard gardens are growing cannabis next to their tomatoes and their cucumbers, and it just becomes a normal thing that people grow in their backyard. They grow their own food, tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, and they grow their own medicine, their own cannabis. And these landrace varieties are just so exciting, and they're really fun, and they're really diverse. So it's kind of like tomatoes. Tomatoes that you get at Safeway are a commercial type tomato, and they're okay. You can put them on a burger and slice them up for that kind of thing, but they're not like awesome, really exotic, unique tomatoes. And that's kind of what's going on now with the cannabis industry. At a lot of the shops, the cannabis flower tends to be mass produced. It's sort of industrial farmed cannabis that kind of now is getting towards that like Safeway grocery store tomato. So a lot of people, we're thinking, are going to be excited to grow like really unique landrace varieties if they're going to grow it in their backyard. Because the secret to a good head stash and always keeping your stoniness exciting and fresh, it's not about high THC, it's actually about variety. So if you have 6 different varieties, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different varieties to rotate through of your head stash, you're always going to keep it fresh, and it's always going to be interesting. And so it doesn't, chasing THC potency isn't really gonna keep things fresh for you. Anyway, hope that made sense. So what I'm going to show you real quick here, and again, the point of this was to help folks and encourage people who want to grow their own cannabis in their backyard. So I'm going to show you how we do the seeds, and hopefully this is helpful. And by the way, you can pop your seeds in soil as well. It's just we don't do that because some of these landrace varieties, one, they're more tropical, so they want things warm, and also some of them are delicate. So if we just put them in soil outdoors, especially at night, a lot of times it gets too cold to really germinate them and pop them. So we could actually lose a lot of seeds if we just went straight into the soil with the varieties that we grow. So we like to get them sprouted, as you saw, and now what we're going to do is transfer them to pots, and I'll show you how to do that. But real quick, here's our whole setup for germinating seeds in the paper towel technique. One is this heat mat. So this is a keep dropping stuff. Okay, so this is a heat mat that's like $30 at a grow store or any garden store. And what it is, it just keeps things warm. By the way, I gotta watch out. This sun is hot. So anyway, the heat mat keeps it at a certain temperature, but the only thing is the heat mat doesn't have a thermostat on it, so it will just keep heating and heating and heating and could get too hot and cook and kill your seeds. So what you have to use is one of these thermostats that you buy along with the heat mat. They don't come together, it's a separate part. But what you do is you set your thermostat, and I like to set mine at 90 degrees. I like them, that's on the upper end of the spectrum for germinating seeds, but I've just found at 90 degrees, especially for tropical plants, they really, I get pretty much 100% germination. And so I'll set it at 90 degrees, I'll wait 36 hours, and then that's what the seeds will look like, what you already saw. Now, very important on this thermostat, there's a little heat probe, right? So you stick that at the very bottom of your bag. Usually I put about 6 or 7 of these bags of different varieties of seeds. So I put that heat probe on the bottom of the plate, then I put the bags on top, and I put another one plate over, and then I use my favorite hippy dippy Nepalese jacket. I put that over the heat mat. And by the way, this all is happening indoors. I just brought it outside for filming, but you don't set this up outside. You actually set it up inside. You can put it in your kitchen, bedroom, garage, what have you. But then I put the jacket over it, and that just keeps it really insulated. So if it gets cold at night, the jacket will keep it nice and insulated. But it's really important, you gotta keep this thermostat, because once the temperature gets above 90 degrees, the thermostat will shut the heat mat off so you don't cook your seeds. So it'll keep it at a steady 90 degrees. So hopefully that makes sense. And now, that said, whew, I am sweating. It is really hot out here. So we're gonna go plant some seeds now. So come along. All right. And by the way, here's a little preview of some of the ones we've already planted. And you'll see Jamaica, we've got Colombians, we've got all kinds of Mexican ones going, Brazil. Anyway, and then we got a whole nother table over there of all of our Southeast Asian. But right now, for these, guys, I think that's what it is. I need to go back and look. Anyway, this is an Iranian variety. But if you want to come over here, I'll show you how we now go about planting these seeds. And I like to, whoop, sorry. These are the tools I like to use. I have a pair of tweezers, nice pair of tweezers, and I use a Sharpie. And I just dig, and I know I've got 7 seeds in there already. So I put a hole just about that deep. Okay, so that's like 1/2 inch. So there's 6 and 7. Oh, and by the way, these are I think 1/2 gallon pots. And then also, I'm not really endorsing any brands or anything. We don't do sponsorships or anything. I'm just telling you so you have success. Is we use this Fox Farm Happy Frog just for our seed germination, because it's not too hot with nutrient, and it's got a lot of peat moss material, which tends to hold the seeds in place really well, which I like. And now, here we go. Here's our little seeds. So, I gotta put on my glasses because I'm getting old. Alright, so I get my little seed here, and I can see that's a long one. That's got kind of a longish tail. So I'm just gonna put it right there, and see how I'm putting the head of the seed just right at the surface. And then before I get carried away here, so, and then, here's the marker for it, so Iranian Yaza. And then I'm going to put that in there, and then I'll show you how I bury it. is I just barely push it together like that. And so there it is. It's under there, and it's only a tiny, you only put it about, and we're talking a few millimeters under the surface of the soil. So do not bury your seeds too deep, otherwise they might suffocate down there or stall out, and just they're ready to go, so they're already popped. So you want to put them under soil to keep them moist, but that's it. That's as far as you go. You're not burying them. Oh, I need to mark that. So it's really important that you mark everything. So I'm going to put these in place.
Do you water this before you?
Oh yeah. And then I soaked this soil really well with a hose a few hours ago to make sure it's nice and saturated. And oh, and one thing, here's something I want to show you real quick. Right here. So if you get one of these growing into the paper towel, I like to free it first with my tweezers, because if you just pull that and yank that out, you could actually end up breaking the little baby sprout. So I'm going to stick that in there, and see, you don't really drop it in. I kind of rest it on this. Oops, see, it dropped too far down the hole. So I'm going to actually put it right there. Just keep that in place, and there, now I know it's just under the surface. And yeah, so, and then it's just rinse and repeat, and just keep doing that. I'm getting really hot and sweaty here. Actually, sweat got in my eye. So I'm gonna go. I think you get the point of that. I hope that's helpful, and I hope that inspires or helps inspire some of you guys to grow your own cannabis this season, because it really, consuming cannabis is great, but growing your own cannabis, that's part of the whole process too. It's a beautiful plant. So anyway, have fun.